G'day Pickleball family. First thing to know, as shared on the dinkpickleball.com, impressions from day one of the PPA Las Vegas Pickleball Cup. As shared by author Jim Kloss, the Las Vegas Pickleball Cup has started. It's being held in the Royal Ballroom at the Fontainebleau Resort. Qualifiers have been completed, and yesterday, Tuesday, featured round of 64 action in men's and mixed doubles and men's and women's singles. There's no round of 64 for women's doubles. Here's what's happening. Number one, what a facility. The facility is incredible. To start, the Fontainebleau is a fairly new resort and it is simply beautiful. The Royal Ballroom is part of the convention centre. There are 6 floors to the convention centre. We are on the 6th floor. The ballroom has been fully opened to create one massive room, and it's all filled with pickleball courts. The PPA put in a lot of work to create the courts. 2 grandstand and championship courts are top shelf. In addition to constructing all the outline courts, the PPA has created standalone grandstand and championship courts. Championship court will hold 1,000 fans and grandstand about half that. Every seat is a great seat. These are the best grandstand and championship courts I have seen at any tournament. 3, this is round of 64. We may have only been in the round of 64 on Tuesday, but the level of play was top shelf. The talent level on the PPA Tour increases every tournament. Round of 64 play is equivalent in skill to round of 16 play just a year ago. Similarly, round of 16 play now features matchups that were legitimate gold medal matches a year ago. 3-game matches continued to abound, testament to how close the competition is. For example, in men's singles, top players like Pablo Tellez, Hayden Patriquin and Roscoe Bellamy were all pushed to a third game, with Tellez and Bellamy hanging on but Patriquin losing. Patriquin is ranked number 19 in singles, but couldn't escape the round of 64. That's how tough it is out there. 4, on Thursday, we have round of 32 play. Some matches to watch: Federico Staksrud v Hunter Johnson, Judah Castillo v Kate Fay, Tyra Black, Dylan Frazier versus Zoe Wang, Pablo Tellez, Travis Rettenmeyer, Etta Wright v Jack Sock, Kate Fay, and Lauren Stratman, Kwong Duong v Jesse Irvine, Gabe Tardio. These round of 32 matches, among others, demonstrate how tough it is to win on the PPA Tour. 5, future stars. One thing I'm always watching for are the next breakout players. Having spotted early on future stars such as Tina Pisnik, Tyra Black, Augie Ge, and Jaume Martinez-Vic has been a lot of fun. Who's next? I will continue to talk about Zoe Wang, although she isn't so unknown anymore. She grabbed her first medal last week in singles. Expect to see her start to challenge for medals in the doubles events too. A couple of names to keep an eye on are Naveen Beasley and Noe Cliff. Both have top 20 talent. It typically takes time to work your way up the PPA ladder. Players start with no points and thus begin in the qualifier draws. If they make the main draw, they usually will have to play a top seed early. Making a top seed work hard to win may be a moral victory, but it comes with 0 ranking points. Without points, it's hard to get a top player as a doubles partner. It can thus take a talented player quite a while to work their way up the ladder. Obtaining a signature win is needed to really break out. In any event, keep your eyes on Beasley and Cliff. They have the talent to be very high-level players. Thanks ever so much for making it this far into the update. Please be sure to hit subscribe so these updates can be found by and shared with other fellow pickleballers. Second thing to know, as shared on the dinkpickleball.com, USTA president takes dead aim at pickleball ahead of the US Open. Big Tennis can't stop talking, read complaining about pickleball. The latest gripes are being heard as the US Open gets underway this week. In an Associated Press article titled, "Does American Tennis Have a Pickleball Problem?" US Tennis Association President Dr. Brian Hainline lamented, "Quite frankly, it's obnoxious to hear that pickleball noise." Of course, his frustration isn't just about the noise of pickleball. It's about the very real competition pickleball represents to tennis. Why tennis views pickleball as a threat. According to recent reports, 13.6 million Americans played pickleball in 2023. The sport's rapid growth has left tennis enthusiasts concerned that pickleball might one day surpass tennis, which currently has 23.8 million players. More problematic for tennis purists is that pickleball's expansion has often come at the expense of tennis courts, with many being converted to accommodate the smaller, quicker game. When you see an explosion of a sport and it starts potentially eroding into your sport, then yes, you're concerned. Heinlein acknowledged. That erosion has come in our infrastructure. A lot of pickleball advocates just came in and said, we need these tennis courts. It was a great organic grassroots movement, but it was a little anti-tennis. Interestingly, while some international tennis bodies have welcomed pickleball to bring more people into the racket sports fold, the USTA has taken a more defensive stance. For example, a few pickleball courts were installed at this year's French Open to allow players and fans to try their hand at the game. But at the US Open, there's no sign of pickleball anywhere in sight. Instead, the USTA is countering pickleball's rise with its own initiative, Red Ball Tennis. This is an easier to play, smaller court version of tennis that Heinlein believes is the perfect entry point for people of all ages. And in a twist of irony, the best place to play red ball tennis, according to Heinlein, is on a pickleball court. You can begin tennis at any age, he said. What's an ideal short court? A pickleball court. Tennis goes low, pickleball goes high. Mike Neely, CEO of USA Pickleball, took the high road in response to the USTA's stance. I don't like it, but there is so much going on with pickleball, so many good things. I'm going to stick to what I can control, harnessing the growth and supporting this game, Neely said. I don't think it needs to be one or the other or a competition, Neely said, of the relationship between pickleball and tennis. They're different games, but I think they are complementary. There's plenty of room for both sports to be very successful. Top-ranked American tennis player Taylor Fritz echoed this sentiment, noting, there are some people in the tennis world that are just absolute pickleball haters, and that's fine. But not for me. I don't really have an issue with pickleball. I like playing sometimes. I don't see any reason why both of them can't exist. The numbers don't lie. According to the Sports and Fitness Industry Association, SFIA, pickleball's explosive growth shows no signs of slowing down. While tennis has seen a respectable 10% growth over the past 3 years, pickleball's rise is unprecedented. What started as a pandemic hobby for retirees has now captivated a much younger demographic, with players aged 18 to 34 leading the charge. The game's accessibility, both in terms of cost and ease of play, has been a significant factor in its widespread appeal. Tom Cove, president and CEO of the SFIA, highlighted pickleball's unique ability to offer instant enjoyment. Pickleball has a unique quality to give enjoyment very early, Cove explained. People figure it out, and after 1 or 2 times, they say, I like to play. It's fun, and I can do this. Whether tennis and pickleball will continue to clash or find a way to coexist remains to be seen. Third thing to know, as shared on pickleball.com, pickleball program at Connecticut prison providing inmates with healthier outlook on their future. The McDougall Walker Correctional Institution, MWCI, in Suffield, Connecticut, is a far cry from pickleball heaven, but America's fastest growing sport is regularly being played by inmates there. Pickleball in prisons is gaining more and more adoption nationwide in the US, and Connecticut Public Radio's Eddie Martinez recently shed some light on the special program being offered at the maximum security facility. Coach Angelo Rossetti runs the program inside MWCI on behalf of the Pickleball for Incarcerated Communities League, or PICL, Pickle, a national organisation which equips correctional institutions to provide play and instruction to help rehabilitate those serving time. Martinez explains that Rossetti coaches without judgment, and that genuinely resonates with prisoners who enjoy hitting the court. One of the inmates, a 20-year-old male, had said to me, "You mean you don't see me as a criminal?" And I replied, No, I see you as a person, said Rossetti. Most of them were very athletic. They were far better than I thought they would be. Inmate Caesar O'Neill appreciates that Rossetti treats everyone with respect, no matter their criminal history. You see one person show a little empathy, and that little empathy went a very long way, mentioned O'Neill, who's serving a 120-year sentence for 2 murders. I'm grateful for that every day. Good vibes aside, Rossetti acknowledges the obvious risks involved in this kind of work, but he still pushes forward knowing the overall good it can do. Sometimes you've got to put yourself in an uncomfortable position to make a difference in someone's life, he shared. If that's what it takes, then I'm fine with that. Pickle director and co-founder Sarah Gersten, who coaches alongside Rossetti, is a firm believer in bringing America's fastest growing sport to the masses behind bars because, as Martinez writes, it makes sense from a public safety point of view. One of the biggest benefits I see to the pickle program is reducing that sense of loneliness and isolation, she explained. The program's end treatment director for the Connecticut Department of Correction, Eulalia Garcia, is adamant that MWCI's pickleball program, which was launched in 2017, has incredible value. We've seen more positive interactions with other individuals from our participants that are participating in pickleball. We've seen a healthier outlook on their future, she explained. It's something that they value, that they look forward to, that brings them happiness and motivates them to be better. Paddles up.